Hello everyone and welcome to the beginning of another video. My name is Jen and in today's video I'm going to be doing a little bit of a bookish reset. I've been doing these over the last few seasons and I really enjoy just spending a few moments at the beginning of each season thinking about which books I want to read, sometimes going book shopping to pick up some new books. And as you can see from the clips here, catching up on some of the book reviews in my book journal that I haven't got around to writing. I've been really trying to make an effort this year to write my thoughts down about each book that I read, and I've been really enjoying this because it's been really helping me to think more carefully through what I'm reading and why I like what I like or don't like what I don't like. There's also space in this journal to write down your favourite quotes, and as you can see here, I was going back to one of my Instagram posts where I'd shared some of my favourite quotes from Trust of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. Thankfully, I had made a post and shared some photos of some of my favourite quotes, so I was able to just go back through those and write some of those quotes down. If you have a moment whilst you're watching this video, go and grab yourself a comforting warm drink and get cozy, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of this video. Before we carry on with the rest of today's video, I just want to say a very quick thank you to the sponsor of this week's video, which is Luisa. Luisa is a New York-based sustainable jewellery brand who believe that high-quality jewellery does not have to cost the planet. They specialise in making long-lasting, high-quality jewellery that is sustainably sourced, and they are actually a climate-neutral company, but they also aim to create jewelry pieces that do not cost a fortune. Their jewelry starts at $39 and they have such a wide range of jewelry you can choose from. They very kindly gifted me 2 items of jewelry to share with you in this video. The first one is the Anna chain, and they do this in 2 different styles. There's one with kind of a single bead, and then this one that has the triple bead detailing on it. And then the second necklace that they sent me is the Claire necklace. Again, it has a similar chain to the previous one with the kind of beaded texture, but it also has this little charm on it, and it's so minimal and dainty and cute. All of their jewelry is hypoallergenic and water resistant. They also offer a 2-year warranty on all of their jewelry. They make the perfect staple jewelry pieces that you can add into your collection and keep there for a long time. All of my staple jewelry that I wear on a regular daily basis is from Ana Luisa. I think I probably wear 1 item of jewelry from Ana Luisa every day. If you're interested in having a look at Ana Luisa's jewelry, do check out their website through the link in my description. They are currently having a sale of up to 25% off some of their jewelry, so now is a great time to check out their website. Thank you again so much to Ana Luisa for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back to the video. Good morning everyone. I wanted to finish this video by sharing my autumn TBR with you. All of the books that I want to hopefully get to over the next couple of months. So all of these books are already out. They're not books that are being released this autumn. Let me know if you are excited for any particular book coming out over the next couple of months, because maybe I'm just missing it, but I just haven't heard of many books coming out. And I think because I've not been reading as much fantasy lately, usually the books that I'm aware of coming out are fantasy books, but I've not been getting into fantasy a lot lately. I've been reading a lot of other genres, so maybe that's why, but please let me know. Anyway, I'm going to share with you the books. There are 7 books that are on my autumn TBR. I think that's a realistic number for this stage of my life. I'm reading about 2 books a month. So let's start with the book that I've already just picked up and I'm currently reading. And that is The Tenant of Wildfell Hall by Anne Bronte. I have been wanting to read this for a while, ever since I picked up Jane Eyre a couple of years ago, and absolutely loved that book. It's probably become my favourite book. I've also read Wuthering Heights, and so I want to try a book by Anne Bronte as well. So I have The Tenant of Wildfell Hall. I really don't know that much about what this book follows, other than I think it's following a woman who leaves her husband and leaves her bad marriage. I'm already so invested in the characters. I love the way that she sets up the story. I love the perspective she's chosen of the story. It confused me a little bit at the start because I was expecting it to be from the main woman's perspective, but it's not. We're actually looking at her from the eyes of someone else. The second book I have, but it's upstairs, and that is The Birdcage Library by Freya Berry. Again, I don't know that much about this book, but I picked it up secondhand I think it was last Christmas I ended up picking it up secondhand, and I read the first chapter, but that was just after Ivy was born and I was not in the headspace to get into it at that time. I think it's a historical mystery novel, and it was really good and really atmospheric, but I felt like it was a book that I actually needed some brain power to read. And that time I did not have much brain power. So, or spare brain power anyway. And I've just finished a historical mystery kind of book called The Burial Plot, and I really enjoyed that. And this book kind of gives me a similar feel to that one. I'm just gonna go on Goodreads and actually check what the book is about. Oh, so I think it's set in 2 different time periods, and one is 1882, and the main character, all we know from the main character is that the man she loves is trying to kill her. And the second storyline is 1932, and we follow Emily Blackwood. From the way this is described, I'm getting the impression that the main character ends up finding a book from the earlier timeline and uncovering some secrets. And it just sounds really good. I love a book with an old house and slightly gothic kind of feel to it. That's definitely become my go-to kind of read at the moment. Even the top review I've just seen is that it's a Daphne du Maurier style historical mystery, and set in a remote Scottish castle. So that sounds perfect for autumn, and I'm excited to read that one. The next book is The Devil and the Dark Water by Stuart Turton, and Stuart Turton was the author of The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. I read that earlier this year and absolutely loved it. I found it such a good thriller. I really liked the way he wrote it. I really liked his writing style. I loved how fast-paced and gripping it was. And it was one of those mystery thrillers that kept me on the edge of my seat the whole time. So I definitely want to pick up some of his other books. I think he has 2 other books out, and his second book is The Devil and the Dark Water. I think he's had a book out recently called The Last Murder at the End of the World, or The Last Murder, something to do with The Last Murder at the End of the World. And that one sounds a little bit more sci-fi mystery. So I'm really torn between both of them. I think The Devil in the Dark Water is another kind of historical thriller mystery. Apparently that seems to be what I'm going for right now. Set on an old ship. So I don't know which one I'm gonna go for. They both sound really interesting, and I'm definitely seem to be in a mystery book mood right now. I also really want to read The Ministry of Time by Kellyanne Bradley, and this has been out for a few months now. It's not a particularly autumnal book, but I believe it's a time travel romance, and one of my favourite cozy comfort movies is, I think it was the noughties that it came out. It might have been the 90s. I don't know if it was the 90s or the noughties. But Kate and Leopold with Meg Ryan and Hugh Jackman. I love that film. It is one of my absolute comfort movies. And for some reason, this book kind of reminds me of that. Literally just in that it's got time travel and a romance with two people from different time periods. So I'm thinking that will be one that I pick up. I've also heard amazing reviews of that book too. Oh, back to mystery books. I also really want to pick up another Agatha Christie book this year. I haven't read an Agatha Christie book for a couple of years now, and I feel like it's time to pick up another one of her books. And the one that somebody actually recommended one in the comments of my autumn book recommendations video, which was A Murder is Announced, and they said that this one is very cozy and autumnal, so I think that might be the one I go for. I've been reading through the Anne of Green Gables series slowly, but I haven't read the 4th book. I finished the 3rd one about 2 years ago. I've started the 4th one a few times, but I just haven't got past a couple of chapters. And then recently my Kindle broke and I have the whole series on my Kindle. So I've started reading it again on my phone. And so I think that's gonna end up being my, I'm gonna term it a waiting room book. I don't know if that's a thing, but you know when you're just waiting around and all you've got on you is your phone. I want to be the kind of person that pulls the Kindle app up. There is one fantasy book that I'm interested in reading, which is What the River Knows by Isabel Ibanez. It's pitched as a little bit of an Indiana Jones type fantasy with a main character who is an archaeologist. I think it's set in Egypt and she is trying to uncover some kind of artifact, and it just sounds like a fun fantasy mystery book. I believe it has some romance in it, and it sounds super cozy as well. I think it's a duology and the second book is either out or it's coming out very soon. So that sounds like a good one because I can read both books together. And then the final book is a bit random and the only non-fiction book on this list, and that is The Prodigal Prophet by Timothy Keller. This is a book based on the book of Jonah in the Bible and is basically just a long commentary on the book. And I read part of this book a long time ago. I think I got about 3/4 of the way through several years ago, never finished it. I don't know why I didn't finish it. I'm a bit like that with non-fiction. I'll just dive into it and then I'll get bored of that topic and read a different non-fiction book, and then I never finish any non-fiction books. You'll see on my Goodreads there's never any non-fiction on there, but it doesn't mean I've not read any, I just never seem to complete the books. But I'm determined to actually complete this because we're currently studying the book of Jonah in our small group, and I want to be able to dive a little bit deeper into it in between our groups. And I'm currently about 3 chapters in and I already feel like I'm getting a lot from it. It's a really simple commentary, but it picks out a lot of things that I hadn't really thought about from the book of Jonah. So I'm planning to just read this a couple of chapters at a time over the next couple of weeks and hopefully finish a non-fiction book this autumn. So those are all of the books on my to read list for this autumn, and that brings me to the end of this week's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have a wonderful day wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you very soon with another video. And don't forget to check out Ana Luisa through the link in my description box for long-lasting, high-quality jewellery.